The next Satisfactory update has been announced to be 1.0, and the community is a-buzzing, folks. It's alive. The community is electrifying. Raw! I feel like this is a WWE like wrestling moment or something like that. No, it's big news. That's really cool. And this has also meant that a lot of people have been coming to me and asking me a bunch of questions like, what are your thoughts on 1.0? And did you know this all along? Do you regret leaving now that it's been announced? Will you be part of the 1.0 launch? Were you fired? This is one that I get as well. He was fired. That's another one. Well, hello everyone. My name's Jace and I'm not a community manager at Coffee Stain Studios. I used to be, but now I'm a solo developer living here in Sweden working on my own little dream project. Yeah, without further ado, let's go through these questions and address them one by one. And yeah, hopefully that will be helpful, okay? So let's start with the funny one first. No, I wasn't fired. I left because I wanted to leave. I've made 2 videos of this now, talking about why I left. One is on the Coffee Stain channel. One is here. I'll put them in cards or something, or in the description somewhere. And I guess this is going to be a 3rd video about that. If you keep watching, it will be the same story, maybe some extra details, but it's the same thing. I left because I wanted to leave. So the next thing is, what are my thoughts on the 1.0 announcement? I mean, it's exciting, right? And I wish the team smooth sailing to 1.0. You know, Satisfactory is a game that is very near and dear to my heart for very obvious reasons, and I want the best for it. So, you know, I wish it smooth sailing to 1.0. I hope it's going to be good. Folks have also been asking me, have I signed up for the beta, or will I sign up for the beta? And I haven't signed up for the beta yet, and I'm not sure if I will, honestly. I kind of do want to just wait for the full release and play it, you know, finished. As someone who has worked as a developer and a community manager for Satisfactory for a long time, I've played that game in all sorts of broken states. And I think I just want to be a civilian, folks, you know? I just want to be a civilian. I just want to, like, get the finished, polished product at the end of the line and just enjoy it, you know? So there's part of me that wants that. But I think if for any reason, I can't think of a reason, but if for any reason it's important for me to get it before, I mean, I guess I can do that if it helps in some way, but I can't really see how that could be. So, yeah, I mean, I think I might actually just wait for 1.0 to hit, you know, main, and then just enjoy it, you know, with everyone else, and see how it turns out, you know? I think that would be really interesting. And the next thing is, like, if I knew that these were the plans all along, or if I'll be part of the 1.0 launch. And the simple answer that I'm just going to give is, who knows? Who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows, man? Who knows? I'm not answering the questions. I'm not going in any direction. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to give you the most non-answer I could give you, and that is, who knows, right? I'm not going anywhere, okay? Because the thing is, I don't want to answer questions regarding Coffee Stain's plans. When I left, or what plans they may have in the future, assuming I do or don't know them, whatever, okay? And the reasons for this is just obvious. I'm not an employee there anymore, okay? So I don't think I should be commenting on past, current, or future plans if I know plans. There are 2 amazing community managers at Coffee Stain right now, Snut and Mikael, that actively work with Coffee Stain Studios right now, and it's their job to answer these questions. You need to go to them, okay? You can't come to me with these questions. That is their responsibility, and it is specifically not my responsibility. So I do kindly ask that you don't ask me those kinds of questions. And actually, if you were linked to this video in a live stream chat or something, it's because you probably were asking these kind of questions, and this is my more full way of telling you why I ask you not to ask those kind of questions, because I can't comment on it. It's just not right for me to do that, okay? Hopefully you guys will understand. I think you will. The next question that I've gotten quite a few times as well is, do I regret leaving? Do I regret leaving now that 1.0 is so close, whatever that means? I don't even know if we've got a date or anything for 1.0 yet. The TLDR with that is that based off what I knew at the time of leaving, I had no regrets at that time. And based off the information that is released now that we all know, I still have no regrets. So regardless of any configuration of anything, I have no regrets. I am happy that I left when I left, and I have spent all of this time doing things that I really, really love, and things that I really wanted to be doing. The latest of which is this devlog in the cards up here, if you want to catch up on that. And that's just working on my little game, and I'm really, really happy to have been doing that the past 6 months or so. So I have absolutely no regrets. Now the issue here is that if someone asks me, you know, in Twitch chat, and again, this is like, I'm trying to answer this more completely here, is because if someone like asks in Twitch chat or YouTube chat or something like that, do you regret it? And I just say no, it comes off as a bit sort of cold and really short. And it's not that I mean to be cold or short about it. There's actually a lot of reasons for why I left and why I don't regret it and all those kind of things. But it's hard for me, like I get asked that question way too often for me to give a good enough answer every single time. And I would love to give a good enough answer every single time. But I simply logistically can't do that, right? And that's another reason why I'm making this video. So you may have been linked this video in a Twitch or a YouTube chat, and this is my attempt at giving you the best possible answer I can give you, okay? A more thought out, you know, careful answer, rather than a yes or no answer, okay? Now, the thing is, actually, a couple days ago, I did explain this surprisingly well on stream. So what I'm gonna do is, this was an impromptu explanation, but it was actually fairly decent. So we'll play this. This was from stream a couple days ago. And the other part of it though, oh yeah, this is a part that I want to talk about actually. This is I think this is a good thing to talk about. It's just a perspective thing, which I think is important. And this is how I view things. Okay, we'll do the black on white because otherwise you can't see the cursor if it's white. So like, let's say there's a, Jesus Christ. Let's just say there's like a project, right? It can be anything. It could be a game. It could be whatever you're doing, or even just like some experience or something you're doing with work, you know, and you work on it and you get to here, right? So you don't finish it, right? There's a kind of perspective you can have, which is reasonable, but there's a perspective you can have where you go, because I didn't do this part, none of this matters. Okay? And I think in some cases that's actually maybe true, but in some cases it isn't true. So if we map this to my case, if we say, well, if you didn't do this last part here, then wasn't this like not worth it? Or aren't you bummed that you didn't do this part? And I'm like, no, I did this. I did all of this. This is Goat Simulator. Okay, this is Satisfactory. This is community management in the way that I was hoping to do it. This is events that I did with people. Patch notes videos. Really crazy moments, internal moments, you know, like big release days or something like that, or exciting like programming features. All right, meeting heroes. I have a tablet, by the way, right? And it's like, if I were to have the perspective of, well, if you didn't stay for that bit, then none of this matters. Or aren't you bummed that you didn't do this because that part? I mean, in some way, sure, but I'm good, man. You know, I'm good. I got all this. I'm good. This is incredible. This is more than I could ever sort of ever dream of and hope for. This is incredible. I'm so happy and thankful for everything that I got to do and all the moments I got to share and everything. I'm good. I don't need this part to make that part worth it, if that makes any sense. But I was at a point where if I didn't leave to do and follow my dream at that point in time, whatever, I think we get to the point where it starts not being good for my health. It starts not being good for, I don't know, maybe I start regretting staying longer or something like that. Who knows, right? So I think it's a great time. You know, I did my best as long as it was good for me. We had a lot of really good moments, and now I'm following my dreams doing something else. So I'm really, really happy with the outcome. Yeah. Does that make sense? The job becomes a drag, quit and do something else. I mean, maybe, right? Like there's many things you can do before you quit and do something else. Like Maybe there's certain ways you can look at your job or certain adjustments you can make at your job, you know. And the thing is, I had done that, right? Because the job, me wanting to do something else, it wasn't a thing that happened here and then I just like fucking left, you know. It like, that's not that, right? It was like me wanting to do something else was like, it was rising over time. And as it was rising, you know, I worked quite hard on myself. I worked a lot with Coffee Stain to sort of like address that, to see like, can we bring it back? But the reality is, it is what it is. This is what I should be doing. That's it. All my coworkers at Coffee Stain who I would talk to about this stuff, you know, they were bummed that I was leaving, but at the same time, they understood that like this was happening, right? And they saw me trying to bring it back. And at the end of the day, they go, all right, like you did everything you could, but you really have to go and do this thing now. So go and do it. They just supported me. They just go and do it. You know? So sometimes I see some comments from people who are like, oh man, when things just get tough, he just fucking left. And it's like, that's not the case. Like there's so much work that happened behind the scenes that I think, that I'm proud of, that I did, that I gave it all, you know, my all. And then, but then now we're here. And it makes me really happy because my resolve for going my own way and making my own game is really strong. That's why I say I don't regret leaving Coffee Stain. It's not because I fucking hated it or something. It's because I know I was done. That's why. I just know. And it doesn't matter if this was, you know, if it was a very short amount of time, maybe I could have stuck around a little more. But this is where we draw the line. Yeah. Jace outgrew it. Well, to say outgrow, we what is it? Like in relationships, you grow apart, right? That's how it is, you know? So I went in a different direction. And the thing is, my entire life has been, and Coffee Stain is the exception, my entire life has been me making drastic changes and doing crazy things in order to chase my dreams. And the fact that Coffee Stain kept me there for 9 years is a massive testament to the company. Massive testament to the company, right? The fact that it was as good as it was. It wasn't all roses. Of course, there's ups and downs for sure, but it was as good as it was, interesting as it was, fulfilling as it was, to keep me in tiny Chovda for 9 years in one place is a true testament to Coffee Stain. But yeah, people who know my history will know that like I've like floated around. I sold all my shit to move different countries, no place to live, nowhere to, you know, like I it's just how I've been. So this is just me taking another chapter in my life, because at the end of the day, I want to taste and sample life, you know? That's what I want. Yeah. And so now I'm tasting and sampling my own business and content creation and making my own game and learning art and learning writing. Yo, it's so fun. It's so fun. I'm so happy. Yeah. And there was actually another little tangent that I think that we went on here, which I think is kind of important. So I'm going to include that as well. You're still a Satisfactory legend and will probably be for a long time. I appreciate it. I appreciate that people appreciate it. But one thing that I want to say though, is I do hope, I know that a lot of people know me because of Satisfactory. And so, you know, our connection is, you know, it's Satisfactory based, right? It's like Jace equals Satisfactory. And that's okay. I'm really proud of what we did. And that is, I think, a completely reasonable connection to make given the body of work, right? But what I hope for now is that like maybe Jace can equal some other things too, right? So maybe new game, maybe comfy dev streams, you know, dev, other, whatever, right? Like, so I hope that, you know, if this is my only connection that I have with you, that's okay. And I appreciate that. I guess my request is, let's see if we can make some other connections. But this is really where I'm going to hit you with a cold water, as someone else might say. I don't work with it anymore. I don't work with Satisfactory anymore. I'm not the community manager anymore. I don't work at Coffee Stain anymore. We have to realize that, folks. We have to come to terms with this. We have to come to terms with this. I don't work there anymore. Okay. And if you only want Jace and Satisfactory, then, well, we'll have streams where I'll play Satisfactory. It's a good game. I'm going to keep playing. It's fun. And there'll be videos of me playing it as well. So that will still happen occasionally when I feel like it. But it's really, really, really important to recognize that I'm doing other things now. Okay. And I welcome you to stop by dev streams or variety streams and chill out and hang out. And I welcome you to check out other videos that I may have made. My editor and I put in a lot of effort to make those videos like fun and entertaining. Check them out. And the dev videos that I make, actually, I go to great lengths to try and make them as accessible to non-developers as well, so that perhaps they're just interesting to listen to and to gain insight over, right? So I welcome you to try check out those things and see if any of those things are to your liking. But if none of them are to your liking, then by all means, let's part ways, right? Unsubscribe, unfollow, it's okay, that's fine. And I thank you for all the moments and memories that we're able to share with each other, and I wish you all the best. But we can just go our separate ways, right? But the thing that I'm hoping to not deal with anymore is people trying to squeeze me for information from a company that I don't work for anymore. I think that is actually pretty unreasonable and not a good thing to do. I don't think it's good for Coffee Stain. It's not very kind on me either. So let's just try and connect in other ways if we can. If that makes sense. Okay, so hopefully that clears the air on that. Hopefully this video will serve as a decent resource so that when I get these kinds of questions, I don't want to get frustrated at people, or I don't want other people in chat to get frustrated at people asking these questions. Instead, we can maybe link this video, and hopefully this video does a great job at answering those questions in a satisfactory way. That wasn't on the script. I'm sorry. Thank you anyway for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, do leave a like. Thanks for making this journey as fun and enjoyable as it has been so far. I appreciate all of your support, and I hope to catch you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.